Hello, this is Andrew Hollis with another episode of Making Waves with Slater Infrastructure Group. I am the VP of Business Development and Marketing, and I am joined here today with my two colleagues in the water wastewater industry, Patrice Greenwood and Oriana Bledsoe. So Patrice serves as the Vice President of Project Management at Slater Infrastructure Group. She is a project manager, CMI, certified configuration manager and industrial engineer with extensive experience in utilities, automotive, and aviation and research and development industries to facilitate engineering and operations into compliance with project management best practices. She has established and implemented procedures, methods, and systems accordingly. With a strong project management background, Ms. Greenwood has mastered the ability to keep the schedule, costs, and deliverables within scope throughout the project duration. Ms. Greenwood also leads the efforts to establish and maintain Slater Infrastructure Group's safety and health management plan, which provides a structured and comprehensive guideline as required by OSHA. Ms. Greenwood is uniquely qualified to manage subcontractors, including women and minority-owned businesses, through workforce development initiatives. These targeted education, training, and mentorship programs, establishing strategies to simultaneously enhance sustainable economic security of the individuals and of the local wastewater facilities. Previously, she received training experience within academia, including designing curriculum for Indiana Wesleyan University College of Business during her tenure as adjunct professor. And Ms. Greenwood holds a bachelor and master's degree in industrial and systems engineering and business administration from North Carolina A&T State University and Ball State University, respectively. And then, of course, our second guest, Oriana, has exceptional background story as well. Prior to her assignment in her current role, Oriana became the first Mississippi Valley State University student to be selected to participate in the City of Jackson's wastewater treatment facility internship program through its environmental partnership with Veolia Water North America, which was collaborated through Slater Infrastructure Group. After completing her internship, she secured a full-time position as a wastewater laboratory analyst at Veolia, and she was then promoted to wastewater operator with a Class 2 certification. She ensured quality control for wastewater systems. She would test each sample to examine the effects of detected substances on the environment, monitor reports and gauges to check for any unexpected substances. In addition, she performed all aspects of sampling, monitoring, and testing required to maintain compliance with federal, state, local regulations and conformance to OSHA regulations. Oriana is an exceptionally qualified with her extensive experience in the education sector as well. Earlier in her career, she worked as a special education resource inclusion teacher and followed individualized education plan for each of her students. She offered tutorial support within the general education class as well as the special education class. Oriana holds a Master's of Science degree in environmental health and a Bachelor's of Science degree in both biology and chemistry from Mississippi Valley State University. So obviously we have two extremely qualified women as guests, and to that effect, I'll start off by asking a question of you, Patrice. Would you just care to share with us your background and mission of Slater's internship program?
Certainly. Slater is committed to furthering the educational goals of the job-seeking candidates who are interested in careers in water and wastewater industry, as well in transportation and environmental sectors. As a result of this interest and as a result of this mission, Slater sponsors a two-faceted internship program that provides our interns with meaningful work experiences to prepare them for careers in the water, wastewater fields of interest. The objective of this year-round internship program is to provide long-term exposure to complex assignments, which enables our interns to apply theoretical and practical knowledge that is learned in the classroom to the work environment. They must possess a high degree of discipline, and they will be required to handle their assignments independently. Their job tasks are developed and communicated very well to them so that they know in advance what is expected. And one of the things that we pride ourselves on is establishing a two-way communication between the intern and his or her sponsor and their supervisor as a key to success of the program.
Gotcha. So Oriana, I'll go to you very quickly. If you could just go into detail for why you think diversity is such an important topic within the water wastewater industry.
For me, it's critical because the industry needs a diverse range of people entering the workforce in order to create a pipeline of water workers. Because currently, many of water workers, wastewater and clean water workers are actually retiring. They've gotten old and there's not any young people to come up. So with more diverse people, especially females entering the water and the wastewater industry, it would create more water workers for the future. And I have frequently been the only woman at my job site. Overall, women are underrepresented in STEM fields, and the water utility sector remains male dominated. The industry needs to take active steps in training the workforce for tomorrow that build better leaders for the future. I have attended several classes at this point, whereas I've been the only woman and the only woman of color in the room. And at first it was a little nerving, but I got used to it after a while. It's like, okay, you expect to go in and it's one or two women, and they're usually Caucasian women, and they're usually older Caucasian women that have been in the industry. They started when they was in their 20s. And at that time, it wasn't a lot of African-American women or other brown women that was entering the water field. Now, when I go, I see a few more women come into the classes, but when it's the upper level classes, it's still not a lot of women. I was the only woman in the class I went to last month. I was the only woman in the entire class, and it was nothing but men. So I've gotten used to being the only woman in the classroom. So I'm trying to bring more women in to the water sector.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for highlighting that. Patrice, just to shoot back over to you, if you could just go a little bit more in detail about the Slater internship in terms of how the program is structured and some of the multi facets of the program.
Certainly. In order to achieve our workforce development goals, we've developed our program in such a way that it is a two-faceted program. The first facet is the first component of the two-facet is an internship program designed for college students. These are for students who are currently taking college courses or recent college graduates. For those that are taking college courses, they receive college credit for the work that they do in the internship program. We work with their college advisors to ensure that this happens. We work with the college advisors likewise to give evaluations throughout their assignment period with them to make sure that the advisors are aware of what they're doing. We started that initially. That was the only facet we had for our intern program for several years. And then at our client site, other areas outside of the laboratory where all this pretty much took place, other managers said, we would like to see some of this kind of assistance in our departments as well. So with that, we developed, maybe 2 years later, we developed the second component, which is the apprenticeship program. And this program is designed to build bridges between the local community and our client site to establish a skilled workforce pipeline that will supply the anticipated industry demand for all career levels from entry level through management. This way, we are equipping the workforce of the local community, and we're also giving them skills and paid training as they learn what is needed to start a new career in these areas.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for that, Patrice. So shooting back over to you, Oriana, what made you initially take the full role with Slater Infrastructure Group?
I was actually completing my master's degree in environmental health, and my mentor at that time suggested that I reach out to the City of Jackson wastewater treatment facility. And when I reached out, I was a little nervous in the beginning because I didn't know exactly what it was or what I thought it was. It wasn't after going in. And when I went in, I was happy that I took that step to join the internship because it opened so many doors and opened my breadth of knowledge it made it so much broader than what it was. It expanded what I learned in the classroom to actually putting into action everything that I learned in water chemistry, everything that I learned in public health and policy, and understanding policy procedures behind wastewater, as well as the actual analytical and the method part of it as well. Mm-hmm. So that was what motivated me to, get into the program and to stay in it and to encourage others to join the program as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's very important to kind of feel like that a company has an impact on you in your capacity and moving forward in your life. So we're very glad to hear that we made that impact to you, Oriana. So shooting back to you, Patrice, what do you think is, if you could just be a little bit more specific in this for the program, what do you think is the process, or what is the process for you to recruit a program participant?
Okay, we have a complex process for doing that. In terms, we have several different organizations that we work with. We establish partnerships with the local county and municipal organizations, such as the employment training programs and the work experience programs, and also with the local education institutions of higher education, the four-year colleges as well as the community colleges. We've developed our expertise in working with a diverse group of non-union workforce members and with students. And so since we started partnering with the City of Jackson, the primary partners that we have worked with since we've been there have been Jackson State University, Mississippi Valley State University, Hines Community College, the WIN Job Center, and the Workforce Development and Economics Department of the Mississippi Community College Board. Similarly, in Georgia, which we also have an internship program on a smaller scale for candidates in Georgia, all of these, on the other hand, have been college students. We've worked with Morehouse College, Clark Atlanta University, Kennesaw State University, and the Georgia Minority the Supplier Development Council. So those are the particular areas that we work with, that we reach out to establish pipelines for talent recruitment. And through these mechanisms, we have gotten some very high quality candidates to complete our program for the past 6 years that we've been doing this.
Yes, thank you so much for elaborating further on that, Patrice. So Oriana, why did you want to share your story?
I wanted to share my story so that I can influence other young women, especially diverse women of diverse cultures and backgrounds. And I want little girls to see little women like them working in industries that usually are just men. And I want them to understand that they can do construction work if that's what they want to do. They can work, they can become engineers, and they can become wastewater operators if that's what they want to do. If they want to become a lab tech and they want to go out sampling every day and they're working in the field, I want little girls to see that if they major in chemistry or they major in biology, environmental health, environmental science, that there's many things to do outside of working in the office every day, because everybody is not constrained to be inside the office. Some people want to be out in the field doing hands-on as well as the work in the office. So it gave me that opportunity to share my story so that other women like myself can see and become motivated to do the same thing that I have done. Because there's people stuck in careers right now and afraid to step out and do something different because they don't know what the next day holds, or what that next career chance will hold. So sharing my story hopefully gives other people that inspiration.
Well, I think it definitely will, Oriana, because your story is such an inspirational one. So just to go back to you, Patrice, approximately how many of the program participants have you sponsored to date? And just what are some of the other additional methods of recruitment that you might not have highlighted in potentially the answer to my previous question?
Okay, so far to date, we have had 26 program participants in the City of Jackson, and these have been in the following categories. They've been in the laboratory, they've been in the operations department, they've been in the maintenance department, IT department, and in the environmental health and safety departments. And in Atlanta, the program has not been as robust here, but it's been more of a corporate program for us in our local office. But we've had interns there as business analysts. We've had some there in the IT areas, transportation, and engineering, and for a total of 5 students there. So with those, we've had a wide variety of areas that have been covered. Pretty much every area that there is within the water, wastewater field, and also as in transportation, we have, have interns who would address some portion of those types of activities. And the beauty of the program is, even when an intern is hired into a particular area, they very often get exposed to other areas as well. One thing with Oriana, I'd like to highlight, when she came on board, she was hired in the laboratory. Her first position there, full-time position there, was in the laboratory. She decided she wanted to expand her horizons, and then she was able to spend some time as a full-time technician in operations too, for that was her first promotion that she received while she was there. So with that, it's we want to make sure they get the full breadth of opportunities there. When you're hired into a particular position, you're not pigeonholed there. It's just a stepping stone for you to learn more about that particular industry overall.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. So then I will finish this discussion with one last question, basically put to you, Patrice. What is Slater's vision for this program moving forward as we grow and expand?
Okay, as a future, what we like to do, first of all, Oriana is a perfect example of what our internship program was designed to do. It was designed to take someone fresh out of their very early in their career. For her, this was a second career. Early in her career, who decided to do something different. She came in as an intern, and from the time that she started with us as an intern to the time that she was promoted to the laboratory manager of a regional wastewater facility in Jackson, it was only a period of a little over 3 years. So she really, we really were able to help her on her career goal to skyrocket. And we like to have many more success stories like that. We've had several others who have also gone on to take full-time positions, but she is the one that has the highest ranking position of all. But we're also invested in training all of our employees to equip them with the skills and capabilities that will build better leaders for the future. We need to overcome this skills gap that Oriana addressed earlier with most of the people in the industry now being older, and they are retiring and they're moving out of the industry due to attrition. And our ultimate goal now is to ensure that the technological skills and knowledge exercised by this aging infrastructure workforce can be effectively transferred to a younger workforce and position them for leaderships in this essential industry. So that is our goal now. We just, right now, most of our focus, up until today, most of our focus has been in the water wastewater industries, but we are expanding our footprint now to do the same, provide the same opportunities, the same training, the same development for people seeking careers in transportation, people seeking careers in environmental services, construction management, and engineering. So our goal now is to do the same that we've been doing, but on a larger, grander scale, encompassing more of the focus factors that Slater Infrastructure Group is created to address.
Mm-hmm. I mean, couldn't have been put much better, honestly, in my opinion. So Oriana and Patrice, I want to thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Making Waves. This is Andrew Hollis signing off. Take care.